Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Campman. Albert, lots going on. We're getting to the time of the year where, Cleveland, we still have baseball.
Right.
Pittsburgh, it's Steeler time.
Yeah, no question.
On our local segment.
It's been like that for a long time, really.
Yeah, well, you know what? Two things. One, the Steelers have been so very good for so long.
Right.
And the Pirates, I'm just...
Yeah. They had those 3 years of what 15,
no, they
13,
were
14,
outstanding.
15 or something like that.
Uh-huh. And even Clint, at least when Clint was... I liked him so much that I'm not fair to this.
No, you are fair.
Very good.
No, there's not another manager that would still have a job.
No, but there are no expectations.
But I'm saying to you, that's not the reason to play like they do.
No, you could hustle. You could not have your phone in your pocket. How about that?
Yeah, but I'm just, the fact is that he said we're going to have more fun.
Well, that got us.
So that took us
that got us. They got me looking.
So it tore me right away.
Yeah, beer sour. No, that was it. Then I see the dude in the dugout there that he's doing this hero. You make a binoculars. No. This dude gets knocked out of the game every game. Last night, 2 innings. And he's making binoculars. And I said to my one buddy, he goes, what do you want him to do? I said, watch the game, make a chart, something. I don't want him doing this. How about he doesn't do this?
See, that's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If I know he can't win with that team. So
yeah.
But don't say we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
And I'd say the other way. I'm going to set a culture here, so when it does change,
we're already doing it the right way. We're already doing it the right way.
Yes.
You're right. Hey, good news here. Let's talk a little bit about Corey Linsley.
Yeah, Corey Linsley from Boardman has moved into the upper echelon of NFL football. He's a center. Sometimes centers get overlooked, but not when you're a football coach. They know the team starts from there to the quarterback. For the past 12 years, NFL players have voted the top 100 players. And this year, Linsley's ranked number 60, which is an amazing attribute for an offensive lineman. That means he's thought it was the best center in football.
Now, that's positions changed with everybody in a shotgun. And
right.
This and how
agility.
They tell, somebody watches it. Well, what's he mean?
Well, before in the old days, they have a nose guard over top. They'd run the football so much that you had to be powerful, and all you did was try to control the running game. Now you are calling every defense that comes out.
Where's the mic and all that
yeah.
stuff? See, that's the stuff that the average fan. Greg and I were talking before the show. He was saying about when he used to film football. These color guys, if they're not telling you something you don't know, they're not doing their job.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do right now. Is why is Linsley considered? Well, it was unheard of that a center would pull on a running play ever. He pulls 10 times a game to in their zone blocking scheme and leads the run. And as George said, in the shotgun, once he snaps that ball, he is responsible for the uncovered blitzer. He has to get to him. All those go into play right now, and add something to what Linsley's done. He's a nominee for the Walter Payton, the Man of the Award, in both 2020 and 2021. That means his parents brought him up right.
That's more. No. I'm going to tell you. A lot of these young guys, young to us maybe.
Well, they turn people off.
But
they really do.
But this award, these guys take this award. Like I see how humble they are.
Well, you see the tears in their eyes.
Yeah, and this was a great man. He was a great man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's named after somebody who cared about the people less fortunate than who he was, and that's what Corey's doing. So we want to honor him today with not only the great football player, but also off the field. Also, congratulations, Jermaine Cooper, named the coach at Clarion University. If you remember, he was a player at Rayen, local player at Rayen High School. We happen to know a lot about Clarion.
Yeah, we do.
And what a tough job it is for men's and women's.
He's got his hands full.
Yeah.
And we're wishing him well. Obviously, we root for local guys. But the fact that we see that, I see it so many times. The thing about that league, now obviously it's terrific.
Right.
You have a Final Four, Final 8 team in IUP almost every year.
Right.
And you've got Edinburgh, Gannon, play great basketball, generally California. They have a national championship.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, The thing that Corey has to hopefully, or Jermaine get some help with is, are they going to get him some money?
Yeah.
In other
Clary
words,
doesn't
I
get it.
don't care if
Clary
Jermaine,
doesn't get it.
he could be Michael Coop.
So we know behind the scenes.
Yeah, if he only has 2 scullies,
Yeah, Slipperlock and Clarion does not get scholarships.
4.5. I don't know how many. I know they had 2 at one
Like I know
time.
Gannon and IUP are going to
10, fully funded.
Yes.
10.
Yeah, so that makes it. But hopefully he has a network built up
Yeah.
that he can bring portal players in that have some experience, can turn the program around. Good luck, Jermaine.
Well, that's what he could. That's one thing. You just hit on it. The advantage they have. Matter of fact, Al and I we're looking at our football
It's coming
preview,
up.
and Al and I are talking off air, and he says something. I'm reading one day, and after about 3-4 hours, I'm out in the chair, and I'm looking. I'm like, my God, everybody's 12-0. And then I called him. I said, you know what's going on? He goes, I don't know about you. He said, and I said, what do you mean? You said, it's not just who they have back.
Yeah, that's what you should look for.
Now, who they bring in.
Yeah.
If he brings 3 good players in, he's ready now.
Oh no, they say, what happened to Clarion?
Geez, they weren't any good before.
Yeah, so bringing in players is everything. On a local scene, YSU
Yeah.
football. Coach Phillips at first was balking,
He knows.
and he found out in a hurry. Listen, you mean I can get Marcus Hooker from Ohio State?
Yes, sir.
I think I'm going to take him.
Sign me up.
And so all of a sudden they got players coming in and make YSU so much better. Yeah, you have to use the portal. It'd be so unwise.
No.
You don't have to use it like everybody else uses by cheating, but you can use it wisely.
No, we talked about that. We have a buddy in D1 that got one of his players poached. Guy comes on.
That's the word, poached.
Yeah, he comes on our radio show, and he has this real good big kid. So he decides he's going to do something good for this big kid. He's going to go and play a game near his hometown.
Right.
Well, next thing you know, the 6'9" guy's playing for the team they played instead of his. So
Yes.
we don't
After
know.
the game, as they're going through the hands, as George says,
It's meet and greet.
the handshake line, the head coach of the other team says, "Hey Henry, I didn't know you were this
Or he
good."
tells the players, he said, tell him, boy, would you be a good teammate. We know guys that did at AAU high school for years.
Oh yes.
Hey, let's talk MLB. Only a couple races left.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think they're going to the last.
For wild card.
Oh, wild card for certain.
Yes.
But the 2 Centrals.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are.
And we have to talk about. We're
Yeah,
going to talk.
you can't predict it every game. Every
No,
time you think.
no, every time I get something going, like I call him.
That's
I go,
baseball.
I go, Al, I got one. He goes, what? I said, I like the White Sox. Then they lose 3 straight. Then they come back and win 3 straight. You go, I think the Twins are going to. This guy for the Twins, all of a sudden, he's not giving any runs up.
I know.
This is great. But night in and night, I tell, and once again, I will go, I'm laying on this hill. You can't win in baseball. If you start laying 385 to 1,
chance.
and we have a buddy that
they
does
lose.
it, and we tell
It'd be different if they won.
on
They
a
lose.
Thursday afternoon, there will be 4 of them.
They lose.
2 of them will lose.
They lose.
So you lose 380 and 350. You're down 730, and you win 2 ones.
Right.
I don't like that. You don't like that
It's
either.
$500. You went 2 and 2.
Oh, we're 2 and 2. We did. All right, let's talk about that. The wild card. They're going last second, right?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people stood firm. They
Yeah?
didn't go crazy because they said, "Listen, this thing's wide open. We could blow our whole minor league program trying to get a wild card, and we can lose the very first series. So let's just go with what we have." The Guardians are probably the main example of that. They didn't blow anything up. No. They had a really young nucleus with pitching, and they're hanging on, and they're still there. Even, as I said, though, when we started this conversation, if you would have said, I went to the Cleveland game last Saturday, and boy, they're playing great. They beat Houston, and they lose to Detroit. So that happens every.
Well, you always say that's baseball, though.
And that's why you can't get 2 up or down, 2 down in baseball.
No, 162 times. I'm going to tell you, talking about how much bad news can one team take? San Diego has to be getting close. In other words, there's this Tatis. He hasn't played all year. He makes $9 bazillion, riding around on a motorcycle. This is how clueless he is, too. One guy said, well, on your wrist injury, you know what he was dumb enough to say? Which one? They admitted that he's riding around on a motor. I would have rules, like if I gave you $300 million, I'd have a rule for blowing your nose.
I got you.
I'm sorry, Al, but you cannot blow your nose too hard.
Yeah, it's so tough because they are independent completely. They really don't think of the team. It's 2022. I'll go to my grave saying that, and I believe it.
Name on the back.
Yeah, if you can find a couple players on each team that would give up four at bats to win the game, then you name them to me. No, if there's a guy on third and one out, and all I want you to do, Harry, is hit a ground ball to second.
Slap it.
There's not a chance.
You know, we have a buddy.
There's not a chance.
You know, we have a buddy who we get it. We can't talk anymore because it's impossible. They throw 107 miles an hour. I said they don't even try.
No.
Now tell me they choked up and tried.
No, that's all I want you to do. And they don't throw 107 miles.
No, you know what I'm saying.
And they all throw, that fastball means zero to Major League players.
They catch that thing.
That's like in golf when they said this is a 630-yard hole. You think it means anything to them?
No,
they just hit it 30 yards farther.
That's all. And you know, remember the woods are titanium.
Yes.
When Jack Nicklaus played, the woods were wooden.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, now let's talk about San Diego. I think they're perilously close to, you know, what never happens. The other players don't. In other words, he's trying to say he had ringworm. God bless you. I give you credit for originality. You have to give him credit for that. Ringworm. Like when they pick me up for speeding and I say, you know what, I had a cramp in my toe. Somehow I'm getting that ticket.
You got the ticket.
But anyway, he had ringworm. So he says he had ringworm, but I say what happened, and it was Clevenger.
Called him out.
Stepped out, he said, look, he said, and then the GM said, you know what, he said, we're paying this kid a lot of money. We need to sit down and talk.
Yeah, well, at least they did that.
Yeah, they did do that.
They didn't let him go.
No.
You can't let a kid just ruin his whole, but he already has, though.
Yeah.
There's not one thought of ever trusting him again. There's no way.
Remember Jeff Kent did that. He laid that motorcycle down and tried to say he was like mowing flowers or something.
Yes.
And they caught him.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know,
They get you.
we talk about it.
They get you.
You know, if you don't lie, isn't it a whole lot easier because you don't have to
tell the
remember
same
to lie?
story.
Yeah. You know what? I was driving down. Well, wait a minute.
What street were you on?
We have a buddy.
Yes.
We have a buddy. Like, Albert catches him one time and says, "What happened?" Well, nothing. Al goes, "Well, you know, my cousin was there, and well," and before you know it, he's carried out by 7 people. And Al said, and every time Al would say something, he would go, "Well," and he would tell us a little more. And he tried to tell
That's
Albert.
what Tatis's doing.
Yeah.
Right now, he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, ringworm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this guy says to Al, he said something to the effect, he said, "All I said to the official was, 'Sir, I believe it.'" Now, we know he didn't say, and we know it wasn't ringworm, don't we?
And I guarantee it.
Oh,
Ringworm,
no.
those stories go together. If you start lying,
Yeah.
then it starts getting crazy.
And there's a moral to these stories.
Yes.
Hey, now let's talk about the Mets. 2 nights in a row, 2 starters go down. I mean, they had a nice lead. First of all, it's shrinking. Secondly, what's that do to their bullpen?
Well, it does everything, and that's why I always talk. It's a long season in baseball.
Yeah.
You know.
You weren't crowing. When they were up 7, you weren't crowing.
Never.
No,
Because
I
that
know
could
you
have
weren't.
any injuries, any team that stays healthy, any pickup that gets hot, changes the fabric of Major League Baseball team.
Yeah.
And if you had told me 4 months ago, 4 weeks ago, I don't think the Yankees might not win 100 games. You had to look.
You'd have thought you started drinking.
Yes.
Because they won every night. And I remember Al sat there, he goes, "Pete," he says, "they win every night." And then I looked it up. After the first 80 games, they had missed 3 starts.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden,
just raising
they're
trains.
not hitting. This guy's out, that guy's out, this guy. And then the back of their bullpen.
Gone.
You know, they had a guy for Pittsburgh. He hadn't given a run-up at the All-Star game.
Yeah, it was Holmes. I know.
And I said,
You can't keep that up.
And I said to Al, Al, this is terrific, but what do we say? They play to where? The back of the baseball.
Always happens.
And that's what he's doing. But that was just terrific. And now, we know they're going to be in the playoffs, but they need straightened out.
Yeah, but then once you get there, you want to be hot. You want to be playing good baseball.
Well, how many years have we seen a hot team? 88, 87?
Happens all the time.
Wins. The Cardinals
Happens all
a
the
couple
time.
times.
Atlanta
for
last
sure.
year. Yeah, no question about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pirates, we're going to talk Pirates and Guardians. Pirates are doing nothing to make you forget the 61 Yankees.
Yeah,
For
guaranteed
sure.
that,
In other words,
yeah.
you're not thinking, boy, I got to get down to see that game. But now, the Guardians, first place game. I mean, obviously, with a game, you don't get. But the bottom line is, I've looked before and thought, well, they're going to fall. Well, they're not falling.
I don't think they're falling.
Okay.
Because they have good pitching.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
they have a closer. The game's over.
All right, all right.
So you get that combination right now in modern baseball. You have a pitching staff that goes 6 innings. You have a great 8th and 9th inning pitcher. Yeah, you have a chance every night. Now, they don't score a lot of runs. I understand that. But they have at least built a team that they figure out how to win.
In Minnesota and the White Sox have weaknesses too.
Oh, yeah. No, every team does.
Yeah, in other words, you're not like Trace and the Dodgers.
No.
You're not. Okay, here's another thing too. I have to say this. You've never heard. We've been on a long time. So and so should lose his job. I gotta say, the guy that traded Hader. I honestly,
Milwaukee GM.
I never say because I know how hard.
You know what's interesting? If you follow, he's been
Loud.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw him come in the other day.
I thought to myself, he made a good trade. Hader cannot finish a game.
I saw him once.
No, he's finished one. He's finished one since he's been there.
Right.
He is throwing 95 now.
Yeah, he
Do you understand? Yeah. He was throwing 98, 97.
98 gas.
And no control.
No.
So they saw something.
You think they got off the train before the train wrecked?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that could be. Hey,
Yes.
NFL, listen. Make no mistake about this. You and I are clear. These are practice games. Now, you want to call them preseason so you can charge me full price?
That's the sad part about
Like
it.
Kenny Pickett the other night. God bless him. Have we been all over him?
Yeah, he was a good one.
Now,
It's pros.
those guys he was playing against.
taxi drivers, like you
They're
said.
going to be driving Uber Eats. Matter of fact, I saw him give a slip to the one guy for Seattle. I think it was his order for 2 Sundays. He wants it delivered after the game. Those are not going to be in it. How many spots are up? 5, 6?
Yes, that's it. They're
Explain
on
that.
every team. On every team right
Talk
now.
about that for a minute.
Yeah, the contracts are made already. That if you have 53 or 55, whatever it is now, changes all the time. 48 of those, 49 of those spots are already filled. They're trying to fill them up with 5 special teams players, or 5 guys, or 2 guys that can play tackle and guard, 2 guys that can play a couple positions on defense. You're versatile, and that's what they're looking for. But that's all that's open. So you're watching guys play look really good. Mm-hmm. They do.
Yeah.
They look really good.
Yeah.
But they're playing against scrubs. Yeah. You know, they're not playing against
The
anybody.
Steelers, I think, this is going to be interesting. I think they're going to have to make a decision about whose little brother to cut, Watts or Hayward's. I don't think they have room for both.
Well, Hayward's better.
He
You
does,
see that already. Yeah, there's
You liked him at
true,
Michigan
yeah,
State.
true talent. Why he can do more things.
The other guy, I guess.
I just don't know how good special teams is.
I heard the other guy's a monster.
Yeah, now, he is. So he's a great special teams player.
So there you go.
So I don't know.
No,
Hayward's going to say, okay, I got to pick my spot up there.
Here's a bad thing. If you're an NFL fan, it is the copycat league of copycatist leagues. Mm-hmm. And what did the Rams do last year? Sat out the entire preseason.
Right.
Now, the first game, the dude for the Jets gets hurt. I wouldn't be shocked if you didn't see hardly any of them. If they do a quarter to second game, the third game, nothing.
Yeah. Oh, they're not. Yeah. Third game, they're not playing on
No.
for sure.
No.
Second game, they may play a quarter. May play, depending how much experience you have, may play a little bit more. But I don't even watch. I don't. There's nothing to see. Like my brother was really excited about Pickens for the Steelers, and I said Forrest.
Yeah.
They're going to jam him. They're going to do something different in the regular season that they don't do now.
Not going to let him run wild.
No. Yeah. So I said, I know he's talented. He was the number 1 player coming out of high school, so he's always been
And
talented.
knee injuries, Georgia, right
Yeah,
there.
yes.
Back. Hey, Al, that's interesting you say that. I will say this, not because I'm catering to our Browns fans, but make a decision on Watson. Make a decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've hung the guy out. And don't get me wrong, I am not
What
saying...
are they saying? What are they going to do, George? They saying yet?
Yeah, they want the year, and the NFLPA wants something in the middle. And he's already sat 1 year. I'm not condoning what he's allegedly to have done.
Right.
I'm just saying, make a decision. You know how much money Goodell makes? I want you to know.
Yeah, I know he's 65
$64
million.
million.
I know
Yeah.
that.
Make a decision, Roger.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And although it's
what
not, you know,
what's the reason? Because of
well,
behind the scenes
yeah,
talk?
yeah.
Is that
Well,
what-
they
with the
took it out.
lawyers?
They took it out of his hands. See, first of all, he didn't want to be judge, jury, executioner. So
And he always was.
Yeah. Well, they
He's
changed
not
it.
anymore.
No.
So he can't make. So you're telling him to make a decision, but he can't.
Well, he get him to speed it up. No, he's not making. But he hired the guy that they. Here's what happened. They made the decision. That lady made it. He didn't like it. So
And I knew
now-
they wouldn't like it.
Yeah. But now you think the Players Association is going to like this one?
No, I know.
No. And there are the Browns. They're teetering. They don't want to play Jacoby Brissett. It's obvious.
Yes.
Now, do they go get Jimmy G?
It's just a
Is
waste,
that your-
waste in my mind.
Is that your
No, I
thought?
would never do that. No.
You don't think he's
Not-
not
no,
that big of an
no,
upgrade?
no.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
No,
ask.
I watched him
You know,
play.
Aaron Rodgers, I'm not a fan. He is pretty good, though.
Yeah, oh,
but
no,
here's what
great talent.
happened the other night. He made an interesting statement.
He does do that though.
Yeah.
He makes interesting statements all the time.
Yeah, he's pretty thoughtful.
Uh-huh.
He said basically this. He said, don't play me one series. If you're going to play me, at least play me a quarter.
Yeah.
We're not getting anything out of one series. Now, yesterday he came out very critical of his receivers.
Yeah, he's used the Brady approach. When you get that experience and you get that Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
that's the way you do it. That's I did. It
We
all-
got to hold on to that ball.
I did it all the time.
Yeah.
I called out when I played and coached.
Yeah.
I would call them out. You know the players you got to reach that way. I think he's already figured out.
Okay.
I'm not going to be soft with these guys because I'm going to have a lousy year if I am. These guys got to step it up.
Hard Knocks, they have the Lions coach. He's become a little bit of a
That's my over, by the way.
Okay. You think they'll be good?
Oh, I looked up the scores from last
Okay.
year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
really think
Well,
they're
you know
going
what?
to be really
But
good.
let me tell you something. Here's the problem. You know, when you don't win for so long, they've had one playoff win since '57.
I know.
Let me tell you this. I'm watching Hard Knocks last night.
I haven't seen. I don't watch Hard Knocks.
I know, but I'm going to tell you, it's scary. They're winning the whole game. They get the ball back with 2-something. All they have to do is run out the clock.
Okay.
They had to land a fumble snap. No, I know that's an accident, but it's the Lions.
I know it's the truth.
And I know the Bears are no good, so I could easily see them winning 3-3 in the division.
They will be 3-3.
Well, then they're going to do it.
No, I think they're going over. No, I think that's the one I like
What
the
is it,
best.
6?
Yes.
Oh, they win
There-
some.
there's no doubt in my
No,
mind.
I don't know why.
They can
I
win
agree.
that many games.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the coach, he's become this Paul Bunyan, because he played and he's a little gruff and his language, you wouldn't watch it.
That's why I don't watch it to begin with.
You couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
No, it's everywhere.
There's every
Yeah.
coach thinks that's
Yeah.
the way you're supposed to speak.
And he has this Deuce Staley who's worse. His mouth is see, it's all former players. Aaron Glenn, Deuce Staley,
Gotcha.
and their language is you couldn't watch it with your
I would
grandkids.
call them out. I talk.
You
to them.
couldn't watch it with your
That's
grandkids.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And that's the reason.
yeah, you
That's
couldn't.
the reason.
You know, now here's my thought. I don't know why. I think Juju Smith-Schuster's going to have a big year.
Wow.
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Just have a hunch because Mahomes will spread the ball around. Kelsey will get a third of the targets.
Well, one thing when you're playing in Kansas City.
You go throw the ball a million times.
Yeah, you got to think you have a big.
Hey, let's finish NCAA football because we have a special coming up. That's our favorite sport. Would you agree?
No doubt.
And we had our observation. We're going to talk about it when we do the special. Let's just leave it at this, saying that it's a different year between the portal, the 5-year guy, the automatic transfer, the no-sit. Knowing who's back isn't enough.
Yeah, it's nothing like football ever before, and you really won't know who's going to be on the team 3 weeks from now, because when they name the starting quarterbacks, they're leaving. They're leaving.
I remember last year Utah was playing. I'll never forget this. San Diego State, bigger game. Obviously they caught them. They got them in about the third overtime. You know how they do that stupid 2-point
Yeah,
thing?
2.222.
It's
yeah.
just stupid, Al. But anyhow, so they lose. He names a new quarterback Monday, and the guy leaves that day. No, I'll beat
That's
him
going to
up.
happen. I said it's happening. It's going to be an epidemic. I can name 14 schools right now that there's a big battle on a quarterback, and whoever wins it, the loser's is leaving that next day. So let's say what happens is George and I are two good quarterbacks. I lose the battle. George and I quarterback. I leave, and in the next practice, George gets hurt. Now you're playing.
Now we got some guy. What's his name?
Yeah, so you're thinking what's going to happen?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So,
no, you're right. Hey, what we do like about college football, good games early.
They look like good games.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
Ohio
saying.
State, Notre Dame. I mean,
They look like good games. They're not playing, Miami, Ohio against Ohio State.
yeah. No, what do they call them? Directional schools.
Yes.
Northern somebody.
Because those are good teams in their
Eastern.
league, but
Yeah.
they can't play Ohio
No.
State.
How about Georgia, Oregon early?
Another good game. That's what
I
I'm
like
saying.
that.
Yeah, another good game.
And then here's the one I am very interested in: Cincinnati and Arkansas, because it's another chance for the little guys to pull their way up like last year. And Arkansas, we saw them against Penn State in the bowl game. If you don't take them seriously, that's on you.
Yeah, Arkansas lost the great receiver who I loved. Doing well in camp, by the way.
Yeah.
But they did bring him, once again, they brought a portal guy in that was supposed to be special. We're going to find out. Cincinnati, according to what I've read, and I read the whole Phil Steele book, that's the one who lost the most. They lost more
Well, they lost a pro
draft
quarterback.
choice. No, they lost more draft choices.
Yeah. Well, they had two corners and a quarterback.
They said they took a beating.
Well, they're going to have their hands
So
full
you
of
understand?
fans.
So I could see a drop off in
Absolutely.
Cincinnati. Where
Yeah.
Arkansas, I think, is very similar.
It's funny, though, he picks them to win that league with Central Florida. He has a three-way tie.
Oh, I think they have to pick Cincinnati because they're the best team in the league. But
I would
there's a
say,
drop
yeah.
off.
Oh, no.
There's a
You
drop-off.
can't have. They don't have
You
pros
can't lose
there.
Division Ones like that.
They don't
like
have
Ohio
pro-
State has many.
No.
Cincinnati doesn't.
Draft choices. Not
The
just
high draft choices.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Right.
No, I agree. You know what I did? Oh, SMU. I'm shocked. I know the big boys have the money, the Power Fives. They just gave every guy on Scully $30,000.
Yeah, some guy who has $1 billion guy just stepped up and said, "Listen."
What do you need?
Yes, exactly. That's all he said. He said, "Here's what we need. I think each guy should."
Tell them the Jackie Sherrill story real quick.
On the train station.
Yeah, tell them. Go ahead, we only got a
He's
couple
traveling
minutes.
down the road and
He was going at Whistle Stop.
on the train, and he needed $250,000. And here comes the rich oil
Got a
man.
big cowboy hat on.
Coach, how much you say you need?
The 250. He goes, here. He goes, Coach, you got better stuff to do. It was good. He was going to go all over Texas like in the old days, the political candidates,
Yes.
they called it Whistle Stop. First stop, guy with a cowboy hat on. How
don't
much
need to
you
do this.
need,
You need the
Coach?
coach.
He said, you should be doing something better with your
yes,
time.
yes.
Wrote him a check. No, that's Texas
happening
A&M,
right now.
by
That's
the way.
happening today right
That's
now.
Texas
Yes.
A&M. You know what I noticed? I checked the schedule pretty thoroughly.
That's everything.
Trying to find overs.
That's
and
everything.
Trying to find games I like, over-unders, whatever. But I'm going to tell you this. That SEC, the bottom of the SEC. Now, Georgia's playing Oregon, out, whoever's playing Texas, okay. But the bottom, middle, schedule, awful.
They play easy teams.
Awful. I can see why they're all in bowls
I
at
think
6
they
and
have
6.
to. I think they have
With
to.
that Murder's Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You're going Auburn,
I would
Alabama,
not
Florida,
hold-
Georgia.
I would not hold that against them.
Okay.
All
right.
if
Well, when do you make the move? Like if you're Stoopsy now and you're getting 9, 10 wins.
I would never change Kentucky. I would keep exactly what he's doing.
Okay, we got about a minute.
They're not Alabama.
no,
they're not
no,
Georgia.
they won't be.
And so
No,
for them to
no. I agree.
let's get up twice a year for
All right.
let's
They can
pick
do
up
it.
some easy games.
They can do it.
Yeah.
They can do it. Now the scrap between Stoops and Calipari is almost. See Cal. I'm gonna tell you about Cal. I told you about Cal way back when.
That's your boy.
Yeah. In other words, when they were like bottom feeders, Cal was that football, that Stoopsy. All of a sudden,
And they win some
Cal
games, huh?
hasn't done anything.
Right.
Stoops has 3 10-win seasons, beating Penn State in a bowl. All of a sudden, Stoopsy's taking a little shine off of
Yes,
Cal.
yeah.
And Cal doesn't like
He
that.
doesn't like that.
No.
No.
Hey, Buffalo, anything but a Super Bowl, fall short.
It's tough. That's a tough call.
I know it is.
That's the toughest call you can make.
What do you think?
When you set the expectations. I could never say that.
Okay.
Never.
They're the favorite, by the way.
I think they're going to win.
Okay.
But I could never say you're having a lousy season. You go 14-2 and don't win the Super Bowl. I could never say
Hey,
that.
thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.